Welcome back to ULMX, Universal Language Media Exchange. Today I have these headphones on because I'm monitoring my own audio just to test it and see, I don't know, I want to make sure that I don't go too loud. And yeah, these headphones are plugged into the camera. Excuse them, please. Today we're talking about, is the United States better than Germany? And I get this question so much that I have to go into it. And I'm just going to try and give you a quick answer, as quick as I possibly can. But it is kind of a massive subject. And the reason it comes up a lot is because when I introduce myself, a lot of times people ask me where I'm from. And when I say the United States, a lot of times, and I'm talking here on the construction site basically, because I'm a surveyor and I talk to a lot of construction workers. And as soon as we meet, we kind of just have a little quick discussion about who's who and where they're from and whatever. And I'm from the United States. And they say, "What are you doing here?" The answer to that question, because you're probably also wondering, is that I came here because I met my life partner on the internet and she happened to be German. The next question is, why didn't you two go to the United States? Well, she's older than me. She already had a house and she has the coveted status that all Germans wish they could have, which is she's a servant of the state. So it's more well established on her end. I'm a surveyor. I could work anywhere, and I didn't have a house, didn't have a job at the moment. It made most sense to come here. I guess the next question is, well, do you like it better here? Because everyone says the United States is better. And I would say, well, I'd say it's about break even for me, but I'm kind of more of a European-y kind of person anyway. Why is it better for me? Because I like cycling and there's a better awareness of cyclists on the roads here. People are just more friendly drivers, better drivers, definitely 100% better drivers. And there are a lot more bike paths. Plus, I mean, for me, I wasn't from a warm area in the United States anyway, so the weather's pretty much the same. And I just happened to get lucky, and there are a bunch of hills here. And like for me, it's a perfect town or a city where I landed here in Ulm, which is just random because my wife could have been from anywhere. Well, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what effect the geography had on how she turned out, and then we became so compatible. I don't know. But anyway, the conversation never ends there. They're always like, yeah, but the United States is better. And it's almost like everyone knows that. And honestly, I'm starting to think they're right. And it's not just like my own personal experiences. It's from these conversations. And the funny thing is, it's with most people on construction sites. And my personal opinion is if you work on a construction site, it's much better to live in Germany. But if what you want to do is escape the 9-to-5 grind and somehow become independent of selling your time for money, then I don't think you have as good of a chance in Germany. But then again, the best of both worlds between the United States and Germany would be the best. The thing is, you just don't earn enough here where you can actually invest. And for me, that is very important, because if you can't invest when you're young, then you're never really going to be able to grow your wealth until you're really old. And even then, it'll be too late, and you would have already had your silly retirement plan and you would be in retirement anyway. So like, I talked to my boss one time and they were like, so how do you like it here? You know? And I was like, well, to be honest, I don't plan on earning less than $4,000 a month for the rest of my career. And they're like, yeah, well, what else are you going to do? And I was like, well, I have an app and I'm going to keep hustling because I need to figure something out, because it's just not an option. Like, I will never have the life I want if I can't invest any money because I earn less than $4,000 a month. And he was like, oh, well, let me know if you ever find out a way to make $10,000 a month. Ha, ha, ha. And it was like, $10,000 a month? That's the taunting number? Like, what? $120,000 a year? I'm not saying like you need $120,000 a year, but if you do have $120,000 a year and you're living a lifestyle that you could live on $40,000 a year, you have a good amount of cushion, which is great. And you have money that you can invest, and you need to be able to invest. Otherwise, your money will never work for you. And this is the thing that I think most Germans kind of get lost on, or not lost, but they're just like, yeah, forget this guy. I would say everyone should be trying to get rich. And they would say, yeah, being rich is something for greedy people. How? Because you want to have time that you can spend on whatever cause or with whoever you want. Instead of spending time with your colleagues, you want to spend time with your family. Or instead of working on some project that does nothing for you except earn money, or work on something that gives you real fulfillment, makes some meaningful change in the world that you really want to support and work towards. I mean, which one's going to end in a more happy and fulfilled life that you really change the world for the better, you know? That's what being rich would mean to me, but I think to most Germans, it just means just getting to be flashier and more pretentious, and that I get that. That's not what it's about, but that's exactly what I think people correlate it with. And I remember just being asked one time, like, from a colleague, he's like, "You want to be rich?" And I was like, "Are you kidding?" And it's like, "No way. Like, you would actually think that? That is so greedy. Like, how can you sleep at night if you actually care about getting rich? Like, there's no way that's going to happen." In the United States, that's just not how you see it. Like, the mentality in the United States would be, if you want to get rich, you might have to make some sacrifices, but anyone can do it. That's the whole point of having liberty and freedom. You can do it. You might have to sacrifice time with your family. You might have to sacrifice, hopefully you don't have to sacrifice your health too much, but that tends to be what happens. You know, a hobby versus trying to create financial freedom on the side for yourself, it's just kind of a choice. And, or it's not even a hobby, it's more of a like lifestyle. It's a mentality that starts with saying, there's nothing wrong with money. Money just gives me options, and I want to start building a foundation of wealth so that my money will work for me. And without that mentality, I think you can kind of just say, oh, well, what does my employer owe me more than just my expenses for right now? Like, I want to be able to escape the dependency of this at some point, but that's just not the German mentality. And I can understand it because security is really important. And usually if you're going to go off on some entrepreneurial venture, you're going to have to forego a certain level of security. But I don't know. Life is a daring adventure, or it's nothing at all, really. That's really the truth. Pros and cons all you want, but I think the United States is better because ultimately you're going to have freedom and kind of a culture of people trying to grow their wealth by providing value. And the more money you have, the more you can provide value, because you can actually start some kind of business or create some kind of product that you can't start without capital. It starts with a capital seed. And yeah, in Germany, you just don't see that kind of mentality. And that mentality is more important really than even the fact that you get like paid way less. Like in Germany, I get paid $40,000 a year, get 60% taken off in taxes. In the United States, I would get 65, 70,000 a year and get like 12 to 20% taken off in taxes. So, I mean, yeah, I might have a few more days of holidays or whatever, but I would rather have cash because I can't invest my holidays so much as I can cash. You know? That's how I see it. So it depends. If you want to just stay middle class, I would say Germany is way better for middle class. But if you want to ascend to some kind of level of financial freedom, which very few people actually even have as a goal, let alone attain, then yeah, the United States is still the best country for that. It is still, in that sense, the land of unbegrenzte Möglichkeiten, unending possibilities, endless possibilities. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you could look at it as a good thing or a bad thing. It's kind of, I think some people say, oh, that's a pipe dream because you can't have a family and do that. And it's like, yeah, no kidding. Having a family is a pipe dream. That's how I would see it. It's a big pyramid scheme where like your parents are supposed to take care of you, then you take care of your parents and your own kids at the same time. And like, what? And also work your job? How? Nope. It's like 2, 3, 4 jobs now. It's too much. It's up to you. I don't know. You can think what you want, but that's my personal opinion. When I get approached, when someone from a excavator yells out like, "You're from America? Why the hell did you come here?" It's like, because I love my wife. And they'd be like, "Oh, wow, well, isn't America better? Why didn't you guys go there?" And be like, "Yeah, well, once we can, I think we will." Thanks for asking, dude. Doesn't really matter. Ultimately, you can start a business here too, but it's like just tiny amounts of capital that you can actually allocate to it. Even if you're willing to live relatively simple lifestyle, like one car, you know, one car, apartment, not a house, but still not a lot of money to invest. And then there aren't as many investment possibilities in Germany because real estate is like super tight margins. There's so much equity floating around that the prices are just insane. And then the rents are pretty low, which is good if you're renting, but not so good if you're trying to rent it out. And yeah, and what else are you supposed to do? Just invest in the stock market? I mean, please. Everyone knows that's just speculation. But it's all good, you know? It's just society and culture. And this is ULMX. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. ULMX, Universal Language Media Exchange. Our mission is to make practicing speaking new languages fun. On YouTube, we talk about language, of course, and society and culture because they're very closely intertwined. And if you haven't already, check out our app on the App Store. And if you want to try the content for free, you can download the podcast or just play the podcast on Spotify and Apple Music. It's a great app. It allows you, as a native German speaker, to practice speaking English so that you can speak without hesitation. And you can do it anywhere. You can go anywhere and play this game. I would go on a bike ride. I would go on a jog, a hike in nature, or clean my apartment, do the dishes, and play this game and improve my language skills at the same time. It's a lot of fun. The content inside it is also really cool. Our first version has an album for students in university who want to go abroad to the United States to have a semester exchange, and all the phrases in there will be really useful for you. Okay, peace.